Hey guys, welcome back to Dive In Deep in Thought. You're here with Elias, and today I want to talk to you guys about boredom. What is boredom, and how vital it is to get bored every now and again so that we can check in with ourselves and ponder on the long-term goals and the worthiness of what we're doing each and every day. So boredom is the state of feeling in that present moment that you could be doing something better. So it's a constant trade-off, and it comes down to being stimulated at that point in time. So you could be doing something really, it's not the state of doing nothing, it's that there's a better option out there for you. So you could be doing something you really don't like and you'd be bored because it's not stimulating you, because you don't have any interest in it. So boredom's not necessarily doing nothing. You can induce boredom by doing nothing, being really lazy and just sitting there looking at the ceiling of your house. That's inducing boredom. But boredom is just whatever you're doing currently. There's a better option out there that you could be doing and you feel bored. It's that lack of enthusiasm in that present moment. So what is the importance of boredom, and how can we utilize boredom to actually improve our quality of life? Well, silencing our mind from all the noise and all the super stimulus such as social media or talking with your friends, or constantly having something in your face and constantly making your brain process things. Now when you sleep, your brain is even still processing and it's healing. But when you induce lack of activity, so whether it be boredom or meditation, could be considered boring but very effective. What you're essentially doing is giving your mind a break, giving your five senses a break. And what this does is it efficiently uses the energy that you have that would otherwise be used processing, digesting, because you're not eating at that point in time. So you're inducing 10 or 15 minutes of absolute silence, lack of activity, lack of stimulation. And what that does is it actually makes you creative. It is counterintuitive to what you thought. You thought, oh, if I applied myself, I'll be more creative, I'll be able to push. But what tends to happen is in that bored state, your mind starts to look for very valuable and effective ways and meaningful ways of using up that time. And generally in those situations of boredom, you get a flood of creative ideas. Now you've probably been in a bored state where you've thought, man, when, for example, say you were in quarantine, hotel quarantine, sitting there, the thoughts that are going to come into your mind are going to be the ones where it's like, man, I can't wait to get out of here and eat KFC, go for a run, meet my mates, do this, and the list goes on. But then once you get past the superficial stimulations, what tends to happen is you go very deep. You start becoming very meaningful in your thought, and you start thinking up and mustering up ideas of, I could be at service to others. I could go help people at the old folks home. I could go for a run. I could go exercise. I could start a new hobby that I've always wanted to do. And what tends to happen if you delay that boredom after that 10-minute, 15-minute mark of doing nothing, you start to go into you start to face yourself. So there's no more distractions. You start to face who you truly are. And what tends to happen is these thoughts, these valuable core thoughts within you that haven't been layered with the anxious thoughts or stimulated by just activity. We tend to always confuse activity with progression, but activity doesn't always mean progression. You could be doing something all day, but if none of those targets of your goals are hit, you've essentially just lived out another day. You've existed for another day. So activity is not progression. Progression is moving forward. Even if it's a little bit, it's moving forward. So if you don't have goals, you can never truly progress because you have nothing to measure them against. But obviously you got to do the essential things in life. You've got to eat, you've got to care for yourself, you've got to work. But these are just the assumed activities you do every day for survival. But beyond that, that's where you start to get creative. That's where you start to pick up a new talent, or you pick up a more valuable, more a second layer to your life. The first layer is the superficial, the daily activities that get you, that make time pass. Obviously working so you can eat, educating yourself. But then beyond that, there's a second layer to who you truly are, to what you can truly give the world. And this comes in the form of your craft. And so it's only when you get to a certain level of boredom, induced boredom, where you just sit there and ponder on your life, is when you get these really, really deep, really, really meaningful thoughts. And only you can get to these thoughts. Nothing in this outer world can provoke those thoughts. They have to come from within. So the only way you can get them is silencing the noise around you, and sit and see what happens. You will absolutely be shocked after 15 minutes of just sitting there, the creative flood of ideas that have come through that have been suppressed for many, many years. When I was in a very bored state during the COVID lockdowns, this is when I came up with creating this channel to talk to people and just give you guys an insight into the way I think and some of the books I read. I will give you reviews of books that I've been reading in the last few years that have definitely changed my life. And this was induced by boredom. I was bored, and it came to my mind to serve others. So it's this unbiased thoughts. You got to remember, everything's pulling out of you and you're responding to all these things. But when you silence the noise outside of you, all that is truly left is you facing yourself. And it's when you face yourself that you'll truly uncover what satisfies you on the deepest level. And when you do that, what it tends to do is it gives your life so much more meaning. A lot more meaning than you'd get from accomplishing goals that society has set for you to do in order to get that external gratification. So next time you're bored, do not pick up your phone and just start scrolling through social media and stimulating the mind again, because it's waiting for that dopamine hit. And in the next few weeks I'll be talking about the dopamine detox. And when you detox from dopamine, what tends to happen is you truly get to the essence of what you live for, what you mean, and you're not distracted by the noise. You see, you don't know the noise exists till you block it out. Otherwise, you're just in the same loop. And it's really important that we find out who we truly are, so that we can satisfy our needs, so we can be the best version of ourselves for society and ourselves and our families and friends and whoever meets us on a daily basis. So I hope that this video comes to you when you are well. Next time you're bored, just sit in it, embrace it, get past the activity stage, and then the thought process will start flooding in. So yeah, enjoy your next boredom sesh. And if you guys enjoyed this, like, subscribe and share, so you can go into the YouTube universe and other people can get a meaning from this too. Thanks guys.